Rob.
Is this okay? Good. No, still going on my end. Stop it! Stop it!
Rob.
Oh, every week. I don't know how it was on your end. Did you hear the music continue to go after the intro?
It left and then it went back on.
Yeah. So apparently, every single week on my end, particularly, something goes wrong. When I watch it back, it doesn't. But on my end, I'm like, what the f is happening?
And then there's just you saying something went wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. I'm trying. I want to do one where it just goes smoothly, and I go right into like, "Hey everyone," but hey everyone.
You don't need that. Everyone's got their thing. That
Yeah.
must be your thing.
Yeah. Like
It wouldn't be a Crenshaw show if the intro went perfect.
But it is Saturday night. It's 8:30. We are on. If click on this button here. If you happen to be joining at some point, welcome. As the song said, we're glad you're here, friends. And we have our returning guest, Nick Patch, Strange Pages. He's got a campaign coming up, or actually, it's happening right now. What is 6 or 7 days left?
Yeah. So 3.5 hours ago, marked exactly a week left. So.
All right. So it's Roy Beckwith and the Cursed Continent. So I do have that linked in the description of the video if you want to go check that out at some point. Not during the show because you need to be here watching. So anyways, we're talking about a movie I had not seen up until actually half of it last night and then the other half earlier this morning. Black Christmas, which is not a Tyler Perry movie.
No, you didn't.
I searched Black Christmas on my Fire Stick to see where it was available, and it was about 9 movies deep of Black family Christmas movies.
No.
So yeah, my wife when I searched it up, my wife walked in. My wife, who is a half Black woman, and she's like, "What are you doing?" It's like no, it's a different thing. It's a horror movie.
Just trying to get into the holiday spirit, honey.
Yeah. But it is not a happy heartwarming African American family Christmas. It is a horror movie, slasher movie, 1974, directed by Bob Clark. And do you have any idea what else Bob Clark has done?
Oh man, actually I should, but I don't. I'm excited to hear what he's done.
I looked it up. He is also responsible for A Christmas Story, another classic Christmas movie.
No shit. I was just talking about that today.
Porky's.
Oh really?
And then it goes downhill from there. Baby Geniuses, Super Baby Geniuses 2, and TV movie Karate Dog.
Wow.
So I don't want to.
This is his best movie.
Maybe. But yeah, it was I watched it. I saw the trailer, which I posted on X. If anyone saw that, so old trailers have this issue of being too long, and not the sound's not good on them. Like they're just cut really poorly. So I was a little bit like, oh boy, what did this guy get me into when I watched the trailer? But let's talk about you, Nick, and your history with Black Christmas. When did you first see it, and what made you decide to put it on the list of 5 movies. Which, if anyone's wondering, I have the guests pick out 5 movies that favorites or that think other people should see, and the chances of me not having seen one are really, really high. Apparently, yours was the closest. Everyone else I had at least 2. Yours was the only one that I had 1, which was this one. But what's your history with Black Christmas?
So I was writing a screenplay that was a slasher film. And I went down this deep, deep rabbit hole about slasher films and the history and, which ones are the best ones, yada, yada, yada. And everyone credits Halloween as the best, as the first slasher film. But this came well before Halloween, 5 years before Halloween.
Oh, really?
And it so clearly has, like, almost all of the hallmark tropes of a slasher film.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I went down that rabbit hole, listening to... I remember vividly, I was working in a warehouse, and I was allowed headphones, and so I would just listen to podcasts, breaking down different films, horror films in general. And this one was, the first slasher, like, that people they'll say this is the first slasher. It's not actually Halloween, and so I had to watch it.
Yeah.
And I watched it myself. And then another year, me and my stepdad watched it, who he reminds me a lot of you, actually. He's a Chicano, he says. And he...
I deny.
I don't know. I don't know how old you are, but you guys seem to be around the same age.
I am 48.
Yeah, you're around the same age.
Yeah.
You're like almost exactly the same age. Interestingly. But yeah, so we watched it together and he liked it a lot. And I really like this movie. And as we go through it, I think, not to spoil everything, but I do like it. I don't know if that was a question.
It was on the list, so I assumed. But
yeah,
well, I'm gonna put
the
this
more
movie on because it sucks.
Yeah,
which would be something
I just planted one in there that I hated. just maybe he'll pick it. But yeah, the more I watch it, the more I really like it.
Yeah,
actually, I think it's a really good movie. So. But that's kind of my history, and I wrote that slasher film. I did many, many drafts, but it was at a time where, like, one, I was in a dark place, and it put me in a darker place, and 2, my writing structure wasn't very good or concise yet, and so that slasher film, I never completed a draft of it that I said, yeah, that it's done now. So there are many drafts, but it's not complete yet. And one day I might go do it. But yeah, that led me to this movie, and I really like this movie.
Nice. Were you a fan of slasher flicks before that research, writing thing?
Yeah, I always, during Halloween would watch horror films, and I loved Halloween. Friday the 13th was one that I always felt was a bit vacuous. It was obviously just, and if you look into the history of it, I don't know if you know, but the guy who did Friday the 13th basically saw Halloween and how well it did, and he said, "Man, I could make a movie called Friday the 13th, and it would do as well as that." And he actually put out an ad in the paper or something. I think it was an ad in a paper about it, and it cheesy line like the scariest movie of something, Friday the 13th, right? And like it got a lot of traction and got him enough traction to actually get the funding to do it. And it is just a copy of Halloween, like
Yeah.
basically, but it's more vacuous as far as I can tell. But it does have all the tropes, and that one wasn't famous because it had really good writing. It was more
Mhm.
like it had these, really spectacle kills in it that people really
Yeah.
like to go see at the theater. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so when Halloween 2018 came out, I went and saw it in theaters. And while I don't think it's a good movie, it did make me think. And this is funny. Kevin Smith, Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he did the same thing. So he went and saw this comedy movie and he thought it wasn't funny. He thought, man, I could do that. And so so he went out and made Clerks. Now famous movie.
Yeah.
And so that kind of happened to me, except I didn't end up making mine and becoming famous.
Well, I
But
mean,
yeah.
isn't that kind of how a lot of movie, some people are oh wait, we got Buzz Acevedo in the chat. Um,
Howdy.
he was guest on the 13th Warrior episode, which was a really good movie too.
Yeah, I
Have you
actually
seen?
haven't seen it, but I hear that one recommended a lot.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
check it out. Based on the book Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton. So, um, yeah, it was really enjoyable. But with the uh, Friday 13th and Halloween, I know I have seen Halloween. It's been
Good
a
one.
while, but I don't know if I've seen Friday the 13th.
Well,
Yeah, I
dude, it
don't.
sucks.
Okay, good to know.
I mean, it has spectacle kills, but the characters are hollow, and it's more. It's clearly not as well paced. It's just not as good of a movie, and it's just
Hmm.
like, let's just do Halloween, but we'll call it Friday the 13th, and we'll
Yeah.
make it at a like a camp instead of a suburb. Like that's
Yeah.
basically it. And then there's a twist at the end that I'm not giving anything away, dude. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, I'm sorry, but the twist at the end is that because you think it's Jason Voorhees doing it,
Yeah.
but it's like this Scooby Doo ending where you find out it's not Jason Voorhees, but it's his mom.
Yeah.
But then as
Okay, I remember.
the movies go on, they just bring Jason Voorhees back from the dead, zombified. It's fucking retarded, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't think those movies are good, but if you had fun with them, you had fun with them. I'm
Yeah.
glad you had fun. It's almost like a coliseum. Like that's what I would describe it. It is like, let's go see some crazy shit happen.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, you know. Um,
um,
so,
but some of the movies like that one, and one that I'm hoping that somebody will recommend for the stream is Nightmare on Elm Street, because I have not seen it, but I kind of want to save it for the stream because it seems like
the
something to
first one's
talk about.
good. Yeah, the first
Yeah.
one's really good. Um, the second one is weird. I wouldn't recommend it. And then
I just remember being when I was a kid, and I don't know which sequel it was, but one of the lines that Freddie has was "How sweet fresh meat," and all the kids were saying it. I didn't see it, but all my friends were saying it, and
it
like
became a
so it just
meme.
became a yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's just that's what I know of it is "How sweet fresh meat," and him walking down and scraping his claws on the school bus or something. But
yeah, interesting. I think you're talking about the third one. I think that's the one with the bus. Maybe I'm wrong. But
I'll
there's
have,
so much. There's 8 of them or something, and then a
yeah,
remake, and
and
the
a
first one's
versus.
good. Yeah.
But
Well,
let's get
it's
into
Wes Craven who did.
yeah,
Since we're on the slasher topic today,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's Wes Craven who did Scream.
yeah.
And then he wasn't on any of the other ones. So yeah,
I did not know
the
that.
first one's good. Anyway, on to the topic of today.
Yeah, let's get into the Black Christmas. We'll just if you have not seen it, we're gonna spoil the hell out of it. We're gonna talk
Oh
about
yeah.
the entire movie.
Honestly, stop right now. Go watch it. Come back.
Yeah, that'll work.
Um,
It's on Tubi. It might have a couple of commercial breaks, but whatever.
it only had
Um,
one for me. Whole
oh,
movie.
nice.
Yeah.
I had two, and they weren't too bad. I didn't. There was like one commercial each, so not bad. Tubi.
That's what I like about Tubi.
Yeah,
Yeah, the ads
and
aren't overbearing.
and they have a whole lot of stuff on there that's worth watching.
They do, yeah. They have some originals. I wonder how those are.
Oh, I've seen some clips on TikTok and stuff, and I desperately want to watch them.
Yeah.
But
Leading into it, I'm sure. Bit
yeah.
cringe.
But so Black Christmas starts off as you see with the wide shot of this house, and comes into a party. Who comes to the door? They don't really talk about who comes to the door and rings the door. It's just like one of the guests, or maybe it's Margot Kidder.
Um
But
oh, yeah, I'm not sure cuz they you don't really see them. I don't think it's
yeah,
important honestly
no,
like
no.
who it is, but
And enter the house, and there's a Christmas party going on, and it's college girls, college guys, and it made me feel sorry for college girls in the '70s, because
oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. These are the
like
guys they had to pick from.
yeah, like this guy, he's got I don't know if you know who Gene Shalit is, but this guy has the classic Gene Shalit look. He's just wild that was a actually it's not. I saw a guy very much like this just Friday at downtown Boise. um yeah, and I don't get it. Like, I don't get
You know, people have their styles, you know, they come and go.
it.
But
But
yeah, actually it's funny because I mean there are some cute girls in the movie,
mhm.
but I thought she was cute. And then she's dating this guy. I'm like, I look better than that guy, I think.
Yeah. This
Obviously
actress,
these women are all old now, but
yeah, this actress was familiar to me, and I should have looked it up who she was. But yeah, super familiar, and I can't. And I'm wondering now that I'm looking at her, was she in Greece? I think she might have
dude,
been
I
in
don't
Greece.
know.
I'm gonna have to
I
look
could I
that
could
up.
easily look it up because I'm on the
Oh
Black
yeah.
Christmas Wikipedia. I try not to do too much typing around.
Yeah. But
But yeah.
so yeah, they're at a party. It's a pretty common, I think, opening for a lot of slasher flicks is here's the group, here's the teens that are not going to make it through the movie, but it's basic setup, basic you get to meet everyone, kind of um, their situations. They had the uh, guy with the fur coat, um, who only has a couple scenes in the movie, but they're boyfriend, girlfriend. The other guy who's the pianist, who's got their interesting side story, and yeah, it opens up to that, but then cuts immediately to outside, and
Yes,
a
I have
first
some things to say about that,
the
but go
first
ahead.
person first person scene of who is the villain of the story, the killer, um, sneaking around the house and breathing like me climbing upstairs. Um, but this was so the one of the things with older movies, in the '70s and stuff, younger kids look at them, and they see the film quality, and they get turned off by it. I can't tell you, since I started doing this and having people suggest movies and watching. Most of them are early '90s and earlier. Um, I love film. I love the look of film. I hate digital films.
Mm. Well, and I don't think necessarily it's digital's fault. What I think likely is that they take it in post and they will up the contrast
Yeah.
and up the saturation, and then it just doesn't look real. And then you can
Hmm.
disassociate, especially with horror films, right? It's
Yeah.
like you need to be in there. You need to feel scared.
Hmm.
And when it's on film like this, like it feels like, man, I'm really watching something that happened.
Yeah.
Like it feels real. And that's the same with like CGI versus practical. Everyone will talk about how the new Alien movies suck and they're not scary. And it's like the
Yeah.
original Alien was terrifying. And it's like, that's
Hmm.
true. It was practical. And it makes you feel so gross. Like same with The Thing,
Yeah.
by John Carpenter. It's like
Hmm.
the remake of that movie doesn't get you at all,
Yeah.
because it's like CGI and digital, and you can just dissociate, like it's not real, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah. But
yeah, what I
what
like
were?
about that is it's the POV from the killer, which
Hmm.
is what Friday the 13th did. That was now it became a trope of slasher films
Yeah.
to be walking around and from the point of view of the killer. And you
Hmm.
get that a little bit in Halloween as well. But yeah, it became one of those tropes, and everyone credits it all to Halloween, which I love Halloween, don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
like shit, guys, this was out there 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and yeah, Halloween may have popularized it, but anyways,
Yeah. No, it was
yeah,
it was well done too. Like uh, this whole movie was shot really well.
I agree, and I think there were some bold choices as well, and some of those remind me of for some reason Coppola, who did Scarface and
Hmm.
stuff like that, where it's these kind of slow panning shots, and we're kind of getting to know the scenery a little
Yeah.
bit, like we're getting to know the house and like around places, and instead of cutting from one thing to another, it's more like let's move the camera from here to here
Hmm.
and rotate it, and which is more it's harder on production, but
Hmm.
like it's a better quality film, and again
Yeah.
it feels more real, like you're there
Yeah. I
rather
mean,
than
there was even shots of just staying in a single spot for a while.
yeah, the end at the
Yeah.
end,
Yeah.
um we'll get there, but at the
Yeah.
end I was looking at that, I was like, man, we haven't cut and we
Hmm.
haven't moved. And when I did short films, one of my first like bigger short films, I did stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
think that the reason it didn't work for mine is the pacing of it
Hmm.
a lot of the times. But you really got to know when to do it, and the directing of the actors and the pacing of the scene becomes that much more important because you can't change it in post when you're
Yeah.
editing. Which if you just have, everyone is talking heads and you can just cut around as fast as you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so yeah, they we get a really cool intro to the murderer, the psychopath, in a great first person
Yeah. And
POV.
he climbs up. I don't know if you mentioned, he climbs up the lattice.
Oh yeah, didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Which
Up
which
into the attic.
which is the first point at which I noticed they didn't have a rig for the guy. Like they didn't like nowadays it would be a camera on the guy's like head, a small camera.
Hmm.
It was a guy holding a because all he ever uses is one hand to do
Hmm.
things.
Yeah.
So he's holding the camera the whole time while he's doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. Kind of a little
Yeah.
thing that
Got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
But one thing really fast. She was in my big fat Greek
Okay.
wedding.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Obviously she was older at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she must be like mother-in-law or something. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
'Cause I
Yeah.
haven't
So
seen it.
I knew I'd seen her somewhere, although I've never seen that. I've seen the trailer plenty of times, but
Oh, she
So
was in other stuff as well. She was in
yeah, yeah.
Inner Space and Will
So,
and Grace. So maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. Just trying
No,
to
my,
figure out where you know her from. Anyways, we can move on.
I don't know about Will. I don't think it's Will and Grace. I'm just gonna say
I haven't seen Will and
that.
Grace much either. So
And then the party's over. Guys all leave, and they get a creepy phone call, which I'm gonna go ahead and. Oh, that's not a video. So
well,
they get.
I'd like to mention something really fast.
Mhm,
Before that phone call is a phone call for Margot Kidder's character, Barb.
mhm.
And it's basically her family. Like, I think she's on the phone with her mom,
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
and her mom is basically disinviting her to like a party they're having uh, because she's drunk on the phone.
Mhm.
Anyway, I just want to, not the mom,
Yeah,
Barb,
Margaret
Margot
Kidder,
Kidder's character is drunk on the phone.
who's one of the most unlikable characters ever.
Yes, very much so. I actually named the bitchy character in my slasher after Margot. So not Barb, but I didn't name her Barb. I named her
Yeah.
Margot. I did that a lot actually with different slasher films, taking like, this is kind of the archetype or this kind of what I'm going for, and then
Yeah.
taking the actress's name and then using that. Anyway,
So yeah, we'll get more into her character a little bit later, but they get a creepy phone call, and all
that was
gather around.
really
Apparently, it's
creepy.
been going on for a while. They call him the Moaner, which he must have just started out moaning because he's graduated into straight like multiple personality,
Yeah,
creepy ass.
yeah.
um,
It's
yeah, he.
yeah. There's a lot to say about that I'd like to get to, but he says stuff in different voices. Like, he's a baby at one
Mhm.
point, it sounds like, and then he's like a younger boy, like not a baby but a
Yeah.
boy, and then like a mother and a father voice. Like, he goes through all four of these voices.
Yeah.
Um, just yeah, and he just switches between them.
Yeah, but at this point, it's just lewd. I mean, it's threatening and scary, but he
Yeah.
hasn't quite graduated into that next level of like, um, w- where
Yeah, it's not
I
so multiple personalities yet. Right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
there's kind of these moaning and voices that you can't quite make out what they're saying. But when it's just him, he's saying things like the C word
yeah,
and I want to do stuff to that. Like, uh,
yeah,
it's graphic. And then at one point, um, before he hangs up, so Barb takes over the call and starts like
hmm,
getting mad at this guy and provoking him, and he just kind of goes like dead faced at a certain point
yeah,
and says, "I'm gonna kill you," and then hangs up.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's I mean, just really well done. I mean, really creepy and well done.
Oh yeah. That's a
So
part that I would play in the movie, just for the fun of it, you know.
So the phone call happens. It sets up, some creepiness is happening. That's been happening for a while. And then there's a knock at the door, and it's the what is she? House marm? I don't know what her role is,
The
but
house mom, but before she arrives, this is important to point out,
Mhm.
is that Margot's character Barb makes fun of the goody good
Oh, that's
character
right. Yeah.
for being goody good,
Hmm.
and kind of gives her a hard time. And she goes upstairs to pack this goody good.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
and her name is Claire. Go ahead.
Yeah, that my because my two next notes are the lady penguin at the door because she's dressed just like the
The
penguin.
lady penguin. Yeah, so
She,
that's the sorority mother, I think. I
yeah,
don't know. I never went to college. But her name is Miss Mac.
Miss Mac, that's right. And she's
Notice
got
Ms. She's not married.
oh,
Important detail. Anyway,
but she's got the long cigarette holder and a weird hat, and she's clearly intoxicated. Um,
This
And
is so funny, dude. I love her character. I can't
yeah.
wait to get to some of the stuff with her, dude.
And it's an early setup to a door problem um,
Yes.
that comes up later. But my next note after Lady Penguin at the door is, man, they get right into the murders quick, don't they?
Right. I will say about that, I think that because after this, we have a long space where there's none. So I think they did
Mhm.
this early on. Um, Not only because it actually has like consequences throughout the film, but because it kind of sets the tension. So
Mhm.
it's all about that Hitchcock says, you could have two people sitting at a table talking, and then a bomb goes off that was under the table. Or you could show the audience the bomb that's under the table. Then all of a sudden, this mundane conversation is tense.
Yeah,
So it's kind of that, I think.
yeah,
So yeah, but we get into some. There's more. It's a slasher film,
yeah.
and there's multiple people who get killed throughout.
um, and it's the goody good girl who went to her room after Margot Kidder's character made fun of her and
Claire. Hmm.
introduced a cat that plays a little bit of a part in the movie,
Yeah,
in that he's a constant source of people going to into rooms
or at
looking for
least
him.
once. Was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
once?
This
Anyway,
girl and then the lady, although hers does the Miss Mac, she's looking for him, but it ends up being a slight comedic twist. Um,
I thought
but
there's some funny stuff in this film too.
yeah,
Just so you guys know, it's not just dour all the way through. There are some good jokes in there.
that's one of the things I did like about it was that it was really a balanced movie.
Hmm. Yeah, the
You
jokes
know,
never undercut the
yeah,
tense parts, which people will criticize like modern Marvel for.
hmm,
Um, but this doesn't do that. It does have comedy, and I think that like Avengers, the first one, I think that was a well balanced movie where
hmm,
none of the jokes were undercutting any of the tense situations or emotional situations.
yeah,
Um,
and
this is like
the people who would make the jokes are making the jokes.
right, yeah, yeah. It's not just
You know,
everyone's a sarcastic.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a natural inborn humor that comes out of character instead of just, well, let's throw one in here.
yeah. We need a joke every 5 minutes, or the audience will lose interest or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you said we get into the killing, so I'll just run real fast. He suffocates her with like a plastic bag that would like go over clothes on a
Yeah.
hanger. Yeah,
Hmm.
so he suffocates her with that. And this is a really cool shot that happens in the film where he goes and throws it over her and she kind of screams, and then it immediately cuts to everyone downstairs where they're giving Miss Mac, the sorority mother, a gift, which is like an ugly sweater,
Yeah.
and they're all being rowdy, and so it's
Yeah.
that kind of something's happening, but they're all being loud, so they have no idea, which
Yeah.
is a trope as well, which is used a lot.
Hmm.
It's just funny that this movie was so ahead of it, all of that. Just crazy to me.
Even more so, I'm wondering this. So I don't know. It's still happening a bit, but I'm gonna say like 3 4 years ago, even more so, where in movie trailers
Mhm.
they would, I think it started with Age of Ultron possibly, where Ultron was singing I Have No Strings.
Right, which I love that for him. That's
Yeah,
such a cool
but
thing.
like that slow, like taking a classic beloved like children's thing and taking it, making it slow and dark.
Yeah.
I'm
And
I'm
that
one
happened a lot before that.
Did it?
Before
Okay,
Age of Ultron. Yeah, yeah.
because I'm wondering about if this was maybe
Little baby bunting, daddy's gone a hunting, gone to fetch a rabbit skin to wrap his baby in
If that was an early iteration
Yeah.
of
Uh-huh.
that.
No, I think you're right. It happened a lot. So like it happened in Buffy, to quote another Joss Whedon project, but also when I was growing up, there was this story that was told around the schoolyard about a girl in a boat or a girl on a swing singing "Row, row, row your boat," and it's like a horror story that kids would tell each other on the playground. But yeah, before that shot happens, though, I do want to just say that the killer carries the body to the attic, and the sorority mom, Miss Mac, goes into her office to get. She gets a book. She says B, because it's the encyclopedia. She says B for
For
booze, and
booze,
she
yeah.
pulls it out and opens it, and there's there's some liquor in the book. And then this is another important thing, really fast, is that there's another phone call, and Jess, our main character, answers it, and it's her boyfriend who needs to talk in person, and she needs to talk in
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
and she's really tired. He's really tired. Apparently, he hasn't slept in 3 days. He's stressed out about something that's coming up for him. And the sorority mom gets more booze hidden in her toilet, in the
Yeah,
back of the toilet.
I wrote, I wrote, where'd it go? Toilet booze. That's all.
Toilet
like,
booze.
I remember a long time ago seeing a thing about like if something happens and your water shuts off, you can drink the water from your tank in your toilet, because
Very cool. Yeah.
it's it's not in the toilet, it hasn't got, but like that toilet was nasty, like
It
that
didn't
was
look great. Yeah.
I would.
She's willing to hide it in there, dude. She's got to keep her booze somewhere.
But
Yeah.
after the scene that I just showed, we meet the father of the murdered girl, who is
Yes, this is the
standing.
next day. Yeah.
Yeah, he's waiting. They were supposed to meet because they're going off together for the holiday, and
Black Christmas.
yeah, and they get together for Black Christmas.
That's not what I meant. But yeah, so the dad, I think you were gonna say, he gets hit by a snowball.
Yeah, and it looks like it hurts.
Oh yeah, it looks like it was real. And then someone who looks like the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it was him, but it's inconsequential, whoever it
Yeah.
is, and points him in the right direction toward the sorority house, because his daughter Claire, who we know to be the goody good that was murdered, she never showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this movie. If we need to move faster, just let me
No,
know.
not at all.
I love
Not at
these
all.
details. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad, because my notes are uh, pretty short, and until it gets later on, but it's mostly I take the notes so I can remember where like the clips and some of the pictures I want are.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
no.
took notes on like all of the events that happened, and then
Yeah,
I
yeah,
went over my notes afterward to kind of be like what
yeah,
connections were made, like what setups were paid off, and kind of thing.
yeah. So yeah, we meet Claire's dad, and then after that, we learn that Jess, who does meet with her boyfriend, is pregnant.
Oh right, but just prior to that, the dad shows up at the sorority house
Oh,
where
there's the whole.
the sorority mother. This is where that joke you were talking about comes in.
Yeah,
With the cat. So he's totally upset about the environment, because like everywhere is like like sexual pictures everywhere, and
it's a party house.
it's a party house, and he's upset about it. And
Yeah.
then again, she goes and she's getting ready to leave because they're going to go together to go to the church where the girls are hosting a like charity thing for needy kids where
Mhm.
one of their boyfriends is playing Santa and he's just cussing up a storm in front of all these
Yeah.
kids.
The two worst people in the world
Yeah.
are the most important people of this charity event.
Yeah, which is Margot Kidder and then him. But yeah, Miss Mac is like mocking the dad for being like kind of like blaming her for the
Yeah.
environment, but then she blames the kids for being so like lustful and stuff,
Mhm.
which is really interesting to me because she's like, oh, why am I responsible? I'm not responsible. It's like, yeah, you
Mhm.
are. You're the sorority mother. What are you talking about? Of course you are.
And she's
Sorry to swear. I don't want to get pulled down, but
no, don't worry about it. She's half lipsticked, and here's the cat. Starts
yep.
calling the
Cat
cat.
starts
Starts
meowing. Mhm.
Yeah, starts looking for the cat. We assume it's the cat.
Yeah, it's named Claude. It's the cat.
Claude, that's right.
Claude,
And
cool name.
it builds up a little tension where you think something's going to happen to Miss Mac, and she's by the stairway. She's dropped her purse, and she's not paying
She's
attention to what's happening around her.
and
And you think,
she says like effing cat, like you
yeah,
bat or something. I can't remember exactly, but she likes, some
yeah.
pejorative that obviously this prudish dad wouldn't like. But anyway.
As his head appears in the stairway, and her attitude suddenly changes,
Yeah.
and she's like, "We
um
can get going now if you'd like."
yeah, and so they leave and Claire's body is still in the attic.
Yeah.
It's been taken up there and it's in a rocking chair.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, another thing about the filmmaking here is you were talking about the shots and how well shot it is.
Hmm.
You can see out the window
Yeah.
from, behind, looking at her, you can see through the window as well. So
Yeah.
you can see people leaving and coming in, but the window is foggy enough that it makes sense that they wouldn't be able to see her through it.
Yeah.
Um, that's the only thing I have with this film that's worthy of criticism is that no one ever goes up in the attic to check
Yeah. Yeah.
because this girl's missing. No one ever goes
Hmm.
up. I don't know, maybe we'll check the house thoroughly, like no one said that.
Yeah.
So
I have a criticism, but maybe we'll touch on that a little bit later. But
yeah, it's just fine to hit on that one, I think, because it's
yeah,
just persistent issue through the film. But
which and we'll touch on that later too, because it is something that we'll touch on that
yeah,
a
we'll
little bit
touch on
later.
that later.
So
This is
Christmas
where the
party
pregnant
happens.
stuff comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jess is pregnant. Her boyfriend, who is a pianist, she does not want to keep the kid, and he does, and an argument ensues.
And
He
he wants to
becomes,
get married and she
yeah,
doesn't.
he doesn't at this point. He doesn't necessarily. It's not
Oh yeah,
until
sorry, that's not yet.
later.
My bad. Sorry, audience.
Yeah, he's just kind of insistent on keeping the baby, and so that starts to build some tension.
And he calls
And
her selfish, which I just wanted to point out.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
um,
upset and um apparently this is right before some big thing for him, which is obviously later you find out for sure. I don't think because what I like about this film is they don't come out with a whole bunch of exposition. Like
yeah,
things are happening as though they're actually happening. And so
mhm,
when he says something like, "You know how important this afternoon is for me." He's basically saying like, "I've got this big uh, piano recital," because
yeah,
that's like what he does, and it's a big moment. And obviously, he stayed up 3 nights practicing and stressing about this, and now she drops this on him the
yeah,
day of. Um, so yeah, but then she leaves, and she's like, "I'm not keeping it." He's like, "Well, maybe we'll change your mind later. I'll come talk tonight." She's like,
yeah,
"Well, you won't, but fine, we'll talk."
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so
Which also, it's just another little note on older films. That scene where she's walking away, and he basically calls to her, I'll see you later tonight. We'll talk about it later. I love the sound of that scene, because they're in a larger room, and it's a hollow room, and he sounds distant.
Yeah, I could
He's
see what you mean. 100%.
Nowadays movies don't do that. Everything is like
Yeah.
ADR'd. If it doesn't sound so perfect, they bring them in and re-record it so it sounds crystal clear. It's like, no, let us hear the hollow points. Let us hear,
Yeah.
they're outside now. Make it
You
feel
want to
like
hear a
they're outside.
story about that?
Yeah, sure.
So I made this movie that was a short film, but it was took place in the 70s. A cop comes upon a man who's hit a deer with his car, and he's abandoned his car, and he's running down the road, and this deer has like cockroaches on it, and he pulls up, and they're talking. So we had these cars that are from the 70s, a cop car and a Mustang, and they're 70s, and we're not allowed to have the headlights on unless the car's running, because it could mess it up because they're so old. And so the whole time there are these cars running, and we have a generator running for all the lights we have up, which was far away. We did that on purpose, but like we couldn't turn off the cars.
Yeah.
And so we ended up having to ADR this whole thing, basically the entirety of the short film. And so, except some of the stuff that was in the car. So what I did, because I didn't want what you're describing as the problem of new movies,
Yeah.
I actually took the actors out to where we filmed it and
Oh,
re-recorded all of their dialogue on set. Yeah, where we were, because I didn't want it to feel studio. I wanted it to feel like where they were. So yeah, just an interesting story based on that you made me think of.
No, that's a good workaround. Everything's done in a studio and crystal clear, and it just doesn't, like you said earlier, it kind of disassociates you from like what's happening.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're not in this place. You're not in this hollow. If Buzz is still watching, the 13th Warrior had a lot of that. A lot of that, like they're in a kind of a large hall, like a town hall, and the sound is, it gives you that sense of hollow emptiness, like,
yeah.
And it just, yeah.
And you can try and like fake it like in post with digital like tweaks and stuff, but it doesn't come across the same way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting how things are done nowadays.
But, Margot Kidder trying to get a kid drunk.
Jeez.
Like she is just I don't know what the thought process was when they wrote this character, but like she's not likable in any way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah. Well, she's always drunk.
She's
This is
got
funny
a bad
to
attitude
me.
towards everyone.
Yeah. So this is funny to me. So she's drunk. Her mom is mad that she's drunk, and then tells her not to come to the party with the family party. I'm sure it's because they have kids there and stuff, and she's like worried she's like a bad influence or whatever. Yeah, and then she doubles down. Yeah, she like now she feels bad, and then she just drinks more and gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. But and then also she has to justify it for herself. Like me drinking is okay. Like look at her being a bad influence to this kid. When that's exactly why she was kept from her family party. You see what I mean? So anyway, I think it's actually some really good character writing.
It's not bad. I mean, that's another thing about this movie is they're building up of the characters where their stories, really aren't important to the overall story. The main girl and her boyfriend is.
Very, yeah.
Yeah.
The ending we can't get to right now. But yeah.
But even if it wasn't, it still would have mattered because it these are, these are real people. They're all different. They all have their own backgrounds, their own history, and it makes it matter when they're in trouble. So
Mhm.
good writing. That's all it is. It's just
Oh yeah.
solid
Mhm.
writing, solid movie making. Also, this scene, I like the. I don't remember what this camera's called, but that perspective where you can have two
Yeah,
different.
Tarantino loves using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's another scene where the father is disapproving of what's happening around him.
Yeah, exactly. He's on the phone with his wife in this photo, saying, our daughter's missing. Hopefully, it's nothing. We're gonna go to the police later if this or I can't remember what it is, but basically, like, we're gonna go to the police.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're missing anything. The phone wife
Look at my.
Jess answers a phone call. It's one of those
another.
weird phone calls.
And at this point, she becomes kind of the phone call answerer throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah. This phone call, was it one of those weird phone calls?
I think
it was.
This is the first one where it started to get, because it starts off with the woman screaming or something.
Yeah, and I have something to say about this phone call, but not yet. I'll say it
Okay.
again.
Let me see what we got.
I love this movie, actually. Just so everyone knows, like, if you're watching this and you haven't watched the movie yet, like, go watch it. Come back. We'll be here.
Yeah,
or like the recording will be here or whatever.
So it's not too late after this. I got another video. Let's see what this video is I chose. But they do end up going to the cops, meeting Nash.
Yes, they meet Nash, who is a sergeant, so basically just a regular police officer, as you would view them, if you don't know, like, different rankings and stuff. But yeah, Barb, who is Margot Kidder, and Claire's father go to the police, and basically they just have them fill out a form, like they're not taking it seriously.
And we're kind of introduced to the fact that Nash is, in a sense, an incompetent kind of cop.
Oh yeah, we have a joke a little bit later about that too.
Yeah, and it's a classic, horror trope of, the cops don't if she's missing, we can't do
like,
anything
what can
about
we do?
it.
He basically says she's probably shacked up somewhere with some boy.
Yeah.
Suggesting to the father, who is a prudish, people would say, but he's conservative, and his daughter's the goody good. That doesn't play well with him. He doesn't like that insinuation. But anyway. So yeah, Miss Mack comes back, and Jess mentions the phone calls. The sorority mother mentions that Claire's missing, and then goes and gets more hidden booze in her closet. Anyway,
which is empty.
Oh yeah, right.
Is that why she heads upstairs? Why does she go up? Is the cat though?
Claude, it's the cat. Yeah.
So she's back at looking for, which apparently the cat is very heavy, because those the floor is creaking like a giant man is walking.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And they're like, "Is that you, cat?"
Yeah, she's drunk anyways, though. So
yeah. But she heads up into the attic, looking around, and she sees the the lady in the plastic bag.
Claire, sees Claire's body in the rocking chair with the plastic bag still over her face.
But before she can cry out, this happens. A hook to some portion of her. We don't see where it strikes.
Later, we see a lot of blood on her neck, and her mouth seems to be intact. So I think it struck her neck.
Yeah. I wonder if it's if it was because I feel like other later movies would have shown it striking something, and I'm wondering if it was just a we don't got the budget for this kind of special effect.
Yeah, and I don't mind not showing everything, like that's kind of where like Friday the 13th gets all of its kicks, and then they don't have
Yeah.
to do anything that's well written.
Hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of that even nowadays of just like we'll just cut away, kind of a
Yeah.
thing, which is like, yeah, that's fine for me. Whatever reason that is fine.
Yeah. And then so after she dies, uh, the
So I this is the joke that it happened right before this, so I just wanted to
mhm.
point it out.
Oh, the phone number.
Is yeah, so Barb, Margot Kidder's character, gives the cop Nash a phone number and gives you'll have to give some context maybe because I don't know exactly what it is. It sounds like it's something like an extension or like a
So
routing or something.
yeah, I think it's a routing thing. So like in the old days, I don't know if you know what a like how operators used to operate. If you've
Yeah,
seen the old movies where they're sitting in front of a bunch of wires,
which we see in this movie.
and but you have an operator sitting in
Yeah.
front of a bunch of wires. They'll answer. You'll call the operator. You'll say operator, and you'll give them New York or whatever the area. I guess it's kind of like an area code even.
Oh, it's kind of like an area code, but it's letters, so it's
Yeah,
not numbers.
yeah,
And Margot Kidder says that theirs is fellatio. He's
yeah.
like, fellatio? And he doesn't know what it is. Obviously, he's not the most educated fella. And she says, yeah, it's F.E., you know? And
Yeah.
he's like, all right, how do you spell it? And she spells it for him and he writes it on the ticket. And, but yeah, so he's, yeah, kind of a doofus, this guy. And he's the one in charge, it seems, of Claire being missing right now,
Yeah.
which is not, doesn't spell well right now. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's one of those this is one of those movies that if you watch it, especially like nowadays where we don't even have landlines, I wonder how kids will understand it. Like
yeah.
kid, like where it's just like completely
I think it's
separate
so
from.
cool to see that kind of stuff though.
Mhm.
Like
I mean,
but the movie explains it well enough.
yeah,
I feel like they explain it well enough so that even like me, because I didn't know what that was, because we
yeah,
always
yeah.
had area codes as numbers,
Mm.
um, since I was
I
growing up. So
Yeah, the only reason I know it is like I'm a fan of older black and white
right,
movies
yeah,
and music. A lot, there would be songs which they would give out a phone number, old swing songs, and they'd have a phone number in it, and it would start with a word.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
So yeah, yeah. So before this happened with her, I just want to run through a couple things so we don't get lost. Is that
mhm,
Jess, our main character, who's pregnant, she
mhm,
goes to Claire's boyfriend, who's at hockey practice. He's like, "Have you seen her?" Because obviously everyone thinks that they're shacked up together somewhere, and he's like,
yeah,
"No, I have not seen her." So he's then Jess's boyfriend is at his piano recital, and it seems
mhm.
like he's messing it up. Like he's aggressive, and the judges don't seem too pleased. Um,
Yeah, and there's a point at which he makes a face like he's definitely hit a sour note.
yeah,
which
exactly.
is
He
hard
looked, yeah,
which is hard to tell because he's playing what essentially amounts to horror movie music. It's just
it's pretty
the
dark.
yeah, it's there's a dissonance to it. There's like the chords that are being struck don't necessarily go together.
Hmm.
And I feel like the rest of the movie there are certain scenes where they use that as the background music.
Yeah. So yeah, real fast, the lieutenant hears about. So this is a new character who's very central casting. What a handsome
Mhm.
guy. Lieutenant hears about a missing 13-year-old girl. And this is
Mhm.
when Claire's boyfriend shows up with Jess. And he's angry about the fellatio joke,
Yeah.
but he doesn't say it to Nash. He just says, "Where do you get off talking that way?" And he's like confused why he's mad at him. And they move past that pretty quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, so and there's a scene
Is
before she dies as well where Barb is getting super drunk
mhm.
and the dad's there and they've like had dinner and she's getting drunk and talking about like sexual stuff. She's and she's just horny all the time.
Yeah.
And then she kind of breaks down, like she blames, like everyone's blaming her, but clearly it's more like she blames herself for Claire
Mhm.
disappearing because she made fun of her
Yeah.
earlier. The last time anyone saw her, she was giving her a hard time about being such a prude, basically.
Mhm.
And then now she's missing. And so then the sorority mom's like, go to bed. And she's like,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
The boyfriend goes and destroys a piano right after that as well. He destroys the piano he had played on,
Yeah.
where no one's there anymore. It's just him.
To give
Um,
us just kind of an inkling that like this guy is a little weird.
yeah. And not sorry, we're getting turned around. I'm trying to run through some stuff because this is a cool scene. So this is all before this hook scene still.
Yeah.
But Jess and Claire's boyfriend show up to the house. The sorority mom is like, all right, basically she's gonna leave. She's like, I'm leaving to go stay with my sister for the holiday.
Mhm.
Um, Phil, the girl that we were talking about earlier, that is from like big Greek whatever
Yeah.
wedding
Yeah.
thing, and Claire's dad. So they all leave together to go on a search party
Oh, that's
that's
right.
doubled up with for the Claire and the 13-year-old. So
Mhm.
they're because it happened in the same area. So this is what I want to say is there's a phone call that seems out of place, one of the weird phone calls,
Mhm.
and it's right around the time that this little girl would have gone missing. I
Hmm.
just wanted to point that out. So anyway, and then Jess's boyfriend, his name is Peter. He goes out and sits outside the house like he's like something's up with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It almost stalker like. He's
yeah,
looking at the house. He's nervous, kind of um yeah, disturbed
right.
in a
This
way.
is when the hook scene happens, and her cab has been honking at her, and
That's
she
right.
gets distracted looking for Claude, like he's stuck somewhere, and
Hmm.
she doesn't want the cat to be stuck for a while, so she's trying to find him. And then after she gets killed, the taxi guy goes up to the door and is like, "No one's home," and leaves.
Which is a
Right.
great
So,
little shot because it like the door has that central circle piece of glass that his mouth is. They focus on his mouth.
yeah, there's like a
It's a,
wreath around it too.
yeah, just a cool
Yeah.
little shot there. But then I'm gonna go ahead and hit this. I don't necessarily get why this happens. And Billy goes full
Uh,
retard.
yeah. I could have, yeah, Billy goes full retard. I mean, I don't know if I have an explanation as to exactly what's happening there, except that I do have an explanation. I just realize it. And I don't know
well,
if I want to talk. I don't know if I want to go in on it yet. Oh wait, no, I get. Am I right? Or
I was kind of my guess was when I was
no? I think I know.
cutting that little little clip. I thought, well, maybe it's just the guy. Someone got away.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's it. And
Huh?
I don't know. Should I save it or should I do it now? There's
Yeah, go
this whole
ahead.
theory.
Oh,
So, oh, this is upsetting. So
maybe make a note. Make a note. And
this is upsetting. Yeah, let me make a note. So I want to come back and chat about the freak out after
Mhm.
taxi guy leaves. Freak out after. Okay, cool.
All right.
Because there's yeah, go ahead. There's some really cool stuff. This movie doesn't spell everything out for you. This
Yeah.
movie lets you figure it out, and that's like not to like uh plug Roy Beckwith too early, but that's like what I pride myself on with Roy Beckwith is that
Yeah.
I'm never delivering exposition. Things
Yeah.
are happening, and as things happen, you naturally get exposition, and you can kind of piece things together and understand what's going on, rather than let me tell you everything that's going on, which happens a
Yeah.
lot nowadays. So, but yeah.
Well, let's just talk about that just a second. So I know that some sort of a supernatural bent to Roy Beckwith. I don't know how deep it goes, but um, how much influence did like your love of slasher flicks have in your writing of Roy Beckwith? Was it is it something we'll be able to tell, or is it did you kind of keep it away from your story in Roy Beckwith?
Yeah, I didn't really do anything slasher for Roy Beckwith. Um, I just wanted to. I think you might notice I sent you a lot of like spooky movies in that
Hmm.
list
Yeah.
because it's the season.
Um,
Yeah, it's the season. No, there's a lot of like supernatural stuff in Roy Beckwith though. It's pretty heavy, like occult and supernatural, like um, Native American legends,
hmm.
that kind of stuff. But obviously, like, right, it's 64 issues,
Yeah.
so like you won't get all of it immediately. It's not a slow burn by any means because everything has its own like every
Yeah.
8 issues we're dealing with a monster, but like the overall it has its own story, so uh it's gratifying in the immediate, but also like builds to something bigger.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like I will give away because I really like this. We deal with skinwalkers,
Nice.
which is really creepy stuff. And there are
Yeah.
stories I've heard from like people who talk to eyewitness accounts of these things, and it's scary. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah. Um,
um, this picture is a little bit later on. I only have so many available slots, so I kind of had to. But um,
yeah, and the thing we're talking about though is how phones,
these were
you know,
really interesting shots because, like, growing up, I had heard a lot. You watch movies and they're like, we can trace the calls, but like, um, to see this guy running around in this
yeah.
massive place with all these switches flipping and clicking and noise and stuff, and him searching for the right thing and plug it. Yeah, it was really really cool shots, really
Oh,
cool
it's
scenes.
wild, yeah.
But
Because they
he
couldn't
does.
just trace it like by the push of a button. He had to
Yeah.
go and find which line was active. Like he had to trace the line like physically. It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Okay, so I have a note here, and it just says "Find Janice." I don't know what that means.
yeah, bro, I have no
So,
idea. I don't think anyone in this. Oh, Janice must be the 13-year-old girl.
okay, so that, yeah.
So Jet and Claire's boyfriend, they have that they're at this search party and they find the
Oh, that's right. They
body
do
of the
find they
13-year-old
find
old
Janice.
girl. Yeah. I will say though, that I really like this shot here where the father, because they're not sure who it is. Is
Hmm.
it the 13-year-old girl? Is it Claire? And Claire's father runs up and is almost relieved to realize it's not Claire,
Hmm.
but then turns and sees the mother who's now finding out that it is her 13-year-old daughter been killed and it's her body. And he has
Yeah.
this look of, like it's just really good acting and it's a
Yeah.
good moment there.
Yeah. And it's not overacted. Like the mother doesn't like freak out. There's it's a yeah, really well acted scene. I mean,
Yeah.
that's another thing about this whole this really really well done movie. The acting, the directing, like the writing, and it's worth the watch. Yeah, I liked it. But
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So, they kind of get back. There's a call on the phone. And Jess, our main character, she answers it again. And then she searches for Miss Mac, the sorority mom who's now been hooked. And she calls the police because she's freaked out about the calls that she's getting. Yeah. And her boyfriend shows up. He's already in the house.
Yeah, that's right.
He was upstairs. He came in from behind her.
I was just taking a nap, he says.
He says he was taking a nap. And Jess mentions the phone calls to Nash, our kind of goofy police officer. And so then
the dad
we kind of find out for sure that it was the child who was murdered.
Yeah.
And Nash gives it away to her over the phone as well, I believe.
Yeah.
So she now knows. But I think she knew anyway. But it's like, it was kind of like, was that the 13-year-old girl? Because we should know it's not Claire, so we should assume. Yeah. But we never saw the body. But then he says that a child was murdered in the park. Yeah.
And that scene, we also... Nash on the phone with Claire, but the other girl's dad is there in the police station, and he overhears the conversation when she gives their address, and Nash repeats it, and he
right.
And
well, I don't remember the address. I remember him saying, "Yep, there's okay, no, yeah, weird
it's the house."
He says the address.
Oh no, he says the sorority name.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, I think so.
And we know for a fact from earlier that the dad doesn't even know the name of the sorority very well to say it to that kid who was helping him at the beginning when he was introduced, and he can't even like figure out what the name of the sorority is. But the kid's like, "Oh, that's this one. It's down this way." So the dad's not familiar with it. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So he, which could have been just foreshadowing for us to hear it, and so when he repeats it and sees the dad hears it, he recognized it because he had a hard time with it. But he then goes and relays that information to the chief or the detective, whoever it is, and the calls are coming.
Oh, he's pissed. Yeah, the calls that are coming in, it's the same house that there's a missing girl.
Yeah.
At and which we can get to the conversation with Peter after. But yeah, go ahead with this little bit. That's kind of funny.
If you remember.
So the lieutenant's mad. The handsome guy.
Yeah.
Just saying, he reminds me of some actor that's like now from like nowadays acts, but the mayor in The Dark Knight. I think he's the mayor. Anyway, so the lieutenant.
He's another actor. He's another actor who I recognize from things. I just don't know.
Yeah,
I searched up what. And I'm like,
same dude. Yeah. He looks like I've seen him.
Yeah.
But at Nash, and that he didn't connect the dots here, that there was calls coming in at the same place, that there's a missing girl. So then everyone has a good laugh, and we're like, why are they laughing? And then it's because they confront Nash about, he's like, what's this fellatio? He's like, it's a new extension or whatever he said. I can't remember what the word is, but it's a new routing or whatever. It's a new one. Fellatio, F.E. And they're like, you're so dumb, dude. And but yeah,
his line is, it's something dirty, isn't it?
Yeah, something dirty, isn't it? That's what he said. So
the guy in the background, the other cop, great
what a
laugh.
Legit laugh.
Like he,
yeah.
And
that's his only part in the movie, dude. And he's like, I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna shine for my 2 movies.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Peter and Jess, the main character, and her boyfriend, who she's pregnant by, they are talking, and he announces that he's basically quitting. What seems to be to me is he's quitting his pursuit of being a player.
Yeah.
And he wants to get married. And she's not about it. And
Yeah.
then he asks, well, what about, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you know, I kind of would be too, because it's almost like option B, like, like, hey, my plan's not working out. You're my backup plan, lady. You know.
I don't know if that's what it was. I kind of took it as he would rather have a life with her and a child than pursue what he's now starting to see as a frivolous career. That's what it seems to me.
I felt like it just went so bad that he's just like, I hate it. You know, this is, it's not, because, you know, and then she goes on to say, you know, we both had plans. I still have those plans.
Yeah. And that's when he asks about the baby, that's basically her reply to that. And he says, like, I can't believe you're talking about killing your baby like it's having a wart removed.
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
comes in later,
Yeah.
right? Settling out, but yeah, and he kind of threatens her almost. He says, "If you try to get an abortion, then you'll be sorry if you try." And then she kind of makes him leave after that. And
that's also where kind of the
lieutenant arrives. Yeah.
Suspicion. Yeah, the lieutenant arrives. They're kind of suspicious.
Oh, I think you already don't. You think you already have suspicion that it's him when you think. You know, he came up from upstairs and he was outside the front looking ominous. That's when it came in for you. Is when he threatens her.
Well, it was more of I knew they were setting. It kind of felt like they were setting up, you know, a red herring. But then,
but now it seems more obvious.
Yeah, well, he started getting a little more vocal. Like some of the, you know, at one point he calls. Does he call? But he's like, yeah, he does call. And when they have tapped the line,
crying. Yeah, we'll have to get to that. But
yeah, but
yeah,
so
I like to go chronological if that's okay. I know this is your show.
Yeah, no worries. But this is about the time where this guy shows up and they do tap the line. So
yeah, the lieutenant shows up with Phil, who is the girl from Big Greek American Wedding. Must be Phyllis. But
that
Phil
confused me a little bit later. I'll talk about that.
Yeah. And then the guy who you see in this picture, who is the telephone operator guy or whatever. So he's going to trace the call. He's setting up stuff on the phone, setting up to be able to get this done. And yeah, so this is when
there's a small mention here in this where he shows up of how many phones are in the house.
Right. And there's another phone, but it's a different number, which is important, right?
Yeah, it's Miss Mac's personal line, I guess.
Right. And so it's a different number and it hasn't been giving phone calls. Interesting. Yeah, good point out. I didn't quite make that connection.
I did.
That. That's good.
Later, I did. Yeah, when the so
yeah. So the lieutenant searches Claire's room and is asking questions about her moral integrity. It seems, you know, like, was she seeing someone else? Like, what does she drink a lot? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. And they're like, no, Claire's a goody good, you know, basically. Yeah. And the phone tapper says, and this is, I think, another like one of those tropes, like we need time to to trace the call. So keep them on the line as long as you can, kind of a thing. And the police are going to be watching the house. So girls, don't worry, keep them on as long as you can. There's someone watching out in his car, so you're safe, kind of a thing.
That whole thing about keep him on as long as you can. This is the first movie I've seen where it makes sense because he's got to run around.
Yeah, look at this guy, dude. Yeah.
Like I always thought I never knew like why that was the case. You know, they'd always just say it and then like, you know, the person would hang up and they'd be like, damn it, we missed it or whatever. This is like, oh no, this guy's actually got to find a box and like, yeah,
dude, this movie's so cool. I love this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Phyllis is like breaking down and crying, and she's like, Claire's dead. I just know it. I can feel it. So
Oh
she
yeah.
goes upstairs to take a rest, and our main character Jess is like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be the one to answer the phone. You go get some rest." And this is
Mhm.
important. Phyllis says, "You come and get me if anything, if you get any news, right?"
Yeah.
And mind you, Barb, Margot Kidder, she's still
Mhm.
upstairs sleeping. And in fact,
Yeah.
there's mention of this from the lieutenant, because he says, who else is here? And she's like, oh well, Barb's up sleeping. And
Yeah.
he says, so Barb gave the phone number to the house or went to the station earlier.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of laughs about it and says, just let her rest,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, then the the killer, you see him upstairs, and he's got Claire holding a baby doll, right?
Yeah.
And Jess is like waiting for the call. And I just want to say, since we've had a bunch of this, there's a lot of on the phone calls. It's like
Mhm.
um, Agnes in a
Mhm.
boy's voice, be crying, and then like a mom's voice of like, "What did you do? Where's Agnes? What did you do to the baby?" Right?
Yeah.
And so it, if you can piece it together, I think you can understand what's happening here in his backstory.
Mhm.
And I don't want to get too into it yet, but I wanted to make mention of kind of the things that are being said over
Well,
the phone calls.
yeah. I will talk about the phone calls for a minute. So this is one. I just thought of another one. Okay, so another one's just a tiny, tiny one, but the phone call one for me is kind of a big one. This guy is making so much noise, and not to spoil it, but like, well, maybe we'll wait until the big.
All right, yeah,
But
we'll wait for that. Make a note.
yeah.
But yeah, so uh, this I kind of like. The killer climbs out of the attic, and we see him go into Barb's room where she's sleeping, and
Mhm.
we get this shot of him. It's kind of a close-up shot on this unicorn, like glass unicorn figurine.
Collectible thing, yeah.
Yeah, and he's through it and behind it. And the whole time, like, we've never seen his face, right?
Hmm.
Which is another one of those tropes. But I'd say that that's like a murder mystery trope. So I do think that predates this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we hear screaming, and Jess freaks out, runs upstairs, and Barb is having an asthma attack. And Jess saves her, gets her inhaler. And Barb says that she dreamt that a stranger was in her room,
Hmm. Yeah,
which
I think this is my only. This is another one of my. It's just a tiny thing. They could have set the asthma up a little earlier.
agreed. Actually, I didn't even think of that. But with you
Just
saying that, yeah.
just a
And
little
that's so
like
easy.
an
Yeah.
inhale.
Yeah. It's so easy to just set that up. You could have had her do it like when she went up to go to bed.
Hmm.
Like she kind of is like panicked because we know she's emotional, and she goes up and she kind of like has an attack and hits it. Even
Yeah.
then, because it was what, like 20 minutes ago in the
Yeah.
film,
Yeah. Or even when
So,
she was having her like, you guys all blame me. She could have started breathing heavy and then had to reach into her
and
pocket and
someone
like,
gets it or she has to grab it.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's
could have just been
yeah.
little things.
So I mean, you got to point out the good and the bad. It's interesting though. Like, there's not much bad
Yeah, no,
in this film.
they're really, really small. But
Yeah, there's small
so
things.
yeah, she gets away for the moment. You think she's gonna get killed right then and there, and then
Asthma
uh,
attack. She's fine.
yeah,
Carolers arrive.
yeah, the carolers arrive.
Yeah, brother.
I, so I'm watching it and I'm thinking, okay, these kids are really talented.
Oh yeah, they were
Like
giving it
they're
their all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like a full like church choir, like
yeah.
harmonizing well. Like they're yeah, it's really well done. But
They
like,
really want to get people into this Christmas spirit.
I wrote, yeah, you carolers are talented, but one verse is fine.
Yeah.
They're
Just too
singing all the
long.
verses that nobody knows, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but,
think it's Come Let Us Adore Him, that one.
yeah.
But yeah, so and I don't know, do you want to say this part? Because I'd like to think how you frame it. I'd like to see how you frame it and what you think of it.
Is this so while they're singing, he returns that whole bit?
Yeah, and it's cutting back and forth
Yeah.
between, and
Um,
the whole
I
time the carolers are singing like over it, like that's the dominant
yeah.
like audio track is just the singing throughout this entire thing where we're cutting back and forth between Margot Kidder and the carolers.
Yeah, if you watch the trailer, the carolers singing that song is the like the main part of the trailer. But yeah, it's just when you you think she's gotten away, the carolers are singing, and it's providing the noise as earlier the gift to Miss Mac kind of provided enough noise to cover what's happening upstairs as
Right. Same thing here. Right.
yeah, he's returned, and that one glass figurine is used to kill Margot Kidder's character.
Yeah. He seems to
And
get her in the throat too, which might, some of the
oh, that
screaming
could be, but
quickly. I don't know how
yeah,
all that works, but I've heard if someone gets stabbed in the lungs, that there's no scream because there's no air to let out, which
yeah,
is from
interesting.
that deleted scene in Lord of the Rings: Two Towers. Because
Is that
do you
from
know
the
about that?
extra long extended cuts?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. What's his name?
which one?
There's a little bit of a weird thing. The guy who gets
Yeah,
stabbed in the back by the traitor guy. Anyway, why can't I think of his name? He's like the dad of Willy Wonka. Like he's Darth Count Dooku. Like how do I not know him right now? But anyway,
Christopher
oh yeah,
Christopher Lee's
Christopher Lee.
character
Yeah.
is
So
Saruman.
Saruman. So yeah, I guess they were, and
Oh,
he
that's
like
right.
went to do it, and he said, "Now you got to send stuff." Says Peter Jackson. He says, "No. I know how this is done. I know what it sounds like when a man gets stabbed in the back." Because he was he was like special ops World War II, like did crazy shit
Yeah.
in World War II.
Yeah.
And yeah, apparently it's like there isn't a scream because there's air, but there's no air. But
Yeah.
anyway, off topic. Back to this still good movie. Those movies are
Yep.
fantastic as well.
In spite of what someone said on X recently, but that's neither here nor there. So
I think I cursory saw that, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I did make a note which they didn't do. I thought that they were going to hit some sort of special high note when she screamed, but it just turns out like, nah, she just didn't get to make that much noise. So that was good.
Oh yeah.
After that,
the carolers leave in a hurry.
Oh, right? That's right. The lady shows up and is like, "We got to get at it. Get the kids. We're out of here."
Good. And she tells Jess like she doesn't know that a 13-year-old girl was murdered in the park. She's like, "Yeah, I kind of saw the body."
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. Now Margot Kidder is dead.
Yeah.
Life. I don't if
I think
that may have been off color.
I think she is.
Character.
Yeah.
People are gonna come after me. Anyway.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say this too. Least attractive Lois Lane there ever was. But that's just me.
She looked old in this movie too.
Yeah, she
looked like the oldest one of all of the college girls.
Yeah, she's never looked young, even when she was Lois Lane. I'm like, oh, I don't see this. Like, why did they pick? But that's just a side note. So what do we got next?
Another phone call.
My my other note
What
was
your notes say?
do you tip carolers? What's the protocol when some kids come to
No,
your door?
I don't think so.
You just
I
like,
think they're just trying to spread joy. Oh, but she clapped, and she
yeah,
clapped
okay.
as Margot Kidder is like dead, and it's like big clap from Jess as the
Yeah.
carolers are finishing their song. I just like that mismatch, where she's having this like, man, I was having a rough day. This actually is nice for
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
I've been having a time. And yeah,
I guess
anyway,
I guess
so
that's where the introvert thing comes in, because I would have been like, oh god, no, this is the worst part of the day.
I would have not wanted to do it, but then once I was there, actually they're doing pretty good. They're giving it their all. Like, this is impressive. Thanks, guys.
I mean, if they did sound like that, that'd be pretty. Yeah, it'd be like, oh, you practiced, didn't you? Good job.
Yeah, even if there was one little girl giving it her all, doing a good job, and the others sucked, like that'd still make me smile. But,
so another phone call.
This phone call,
which this is where we really start getting into this guy's kind of.
Oh, is this where it happens? I was just kind of keeping notes in my mind about all the stuff that was happening on the phone calls, and not like because it was hard to like. So I didn't want to pause it and write it down. So like I just was keeping it in my head. But
just a real other quick note about the phone. At one point, I was wondering, is he playing like recordings?
Oh, interesting.
Because
I don't think
his voice
so.
changes drastically.
Well, yeah, but man, like,
and it even sounds at some points like they're overlapping. So I'm like,
yeah, no, I think that's probably an editing thing. I didn't notice that. I could see like some stuff. It was weird because he does change seamlessly between them. But yeah, it's I don't think it's a recording, because I think things change. It has similar lines being said and stuff, but it's never the exact same thing.
So yeah, they phone tapping's going on, search party's going on. We have a couple of search party guys show up at the door. So the phone call happens.
Oh wait, yeah. So the phone call happens. Jess answers. It's too short, but this is where we get lines of like, what your mother and I must know from the phone call, right? In one of his voices, and just like having a wart removed.
And she recognizes it, makes a comment, a nondescript, like, oh my god, or something like that.
Yeah, and they ask her about it, but she keeps quiet about it. She doesn't say the connection between what her boyfriend Peter said about the baby, about killing her baby, and this from the guy on the phone. So she doesn't say it to the lieutenant. But yeah, he has to leave quick though, because an officer apparently got shot with a shotgun while on search. Because he was on someone's property, and this old guy's like, he was on my property. I'd do it again. He literally said that. So
and then they get there's another phone call here too from the boyfriend, right?
Not quite yet. So Phil is woken up. That's when right, because she told her, come wake me up if you learn any news. So Phil is awake and wondering why Jess didn't mention the connection between Peter and the guy on the phone. But she also doesn't think that it is Peter. She's like in disbelief that it could be Peter. They both are, in fact. So they check outside as well, and the officer's still outside watching.
right.
wanted to point that out. I think this is where no, search party shows up a little bit later. This is where the phone call comes in from Peter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so Peter calls. He's broken. He's broken down. He's crying. He's blubbering. It sounds very much not to the extreme, but very much a lot of the same noises as
Oh, I see what you're
as
saying. It's evocative of the guy on the phone doing
yeah,
these weird moaning things. Yeah. Good performance, by the way, on this one. I know we've
yeah,
talked about the acting a few times, but like, man, yeah, he gave it his all on that, and it
yeah.
like comes through. But.
Yeah, and they hear it in the police station. They get get to listen in.
Yeah,
Call back. They call after the phone call. Actually, this guy taps the line as well.
yeah,
So
he's
that's an
tracing that
even
one. That one's too short as well,
yeah. So
so they
that
don't
gives
get to
you
trace either. Yeah,
yeah. So that gives you that little bit of like, oh, maybe it was, you know,
maybe
we
it's
don't
the
know.
same phone. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and
I'd like to say something else about that phone,
mhm,
though. That phone call
yeah,
is the other guy saying stuff like, "What did you do to the baby?" That kind of stuff.
mm,
And then he's crying, saying, "Please don't kill the baby."
yeah,
So evocative of it's the kind of
yeah,
similarities there. So
mm,
anyway, I just wanted to
yeah.
bring that up.
Didn't notice that one. Yeah, good call. Yeah. Um, so yeah, they call back, ask her some questions about him. Uh,
Yeah, about Peter and the baby.
has he ever been in the same room when the calls happened? And they're like, oh no, he was here when the first call happened tonight
Right. And
during the
also,
party.
this is interesting as well. When did you tell him you were pregnant? Oh, I told him today. And we
Mm-hmm.
know that Claire went missing yesterday. So it's
Yeah,
almost like, is it him? Is it not him?
yeah,
If this is his motivation for doing it, then that's too early. So
mm-hmm.
it's this, is it him? Is it not? So
Yeah.
I just like that kind of nuance there.
And it's building, and it's, I don't think it's even necessarily for the audience. It's for her to have, they're building her doubt, her fear of him. Because
Mhm.
I feel
Yeah,
like
which is
we're
important for later, right? Yeah.
yeah, because I feel like we know, we've seen him being in other places like the recital and other things when drastic things are happening,
I don't
so
know that we have. But anyway, um,
yeah.
giving away. Anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, but she does tell the officer tell the lieutenant that she is pregnant. So he knows that. She's come out about it. Um, and apparently he was at the house when the first call came in, and this is a big relief thing for her. But I will say I don't think he was there because
Yeah, I
she
don't.
called. But he was behind me upstairs. Right. He had been
Mhm,
upstairs. So he was there. Right. So then when this other twist comes up, remember, that's why it's like, oh, so
mhm.
that's meaningless.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think we're almost there.
yeah.
But the
So
search is going nowhere. Sorry, sometimes I'm just trying to run through stuff I think you're not going to mention and just get through really fast. But
yeah, well, I'm not
go
sure
ahead.
where we are, but the police. What do you remember the chief's name? The main guy?
The lieutenant,
Yeah,
I don't remember his name. I just keep writing it down as LT dot. So
yeah. But he
lieutenant.
gets called away at some. Well, not called away. He goes to find the boyfriend at the recital place. So he,
Right. And the search through town for Claire is fruitless as well. And
yeah,
that kind of decision happens after that he decides I'm going to go where we think Peter might be, which is the
mhm,
recital hall. Yeah. Um, and then that's when the search party shows up at the house.
yeah. The two
Yeah.
two guys
The
who are
guys who are
really excited about
stoked.
the job.
Yeah, they're like, I wish people'd go missing more often. I'd have something to do. Like they didn't actually say that, but that's they're stoked to be helping, doing something purposeful. Um, And Phyllis says, "Oh, I'd rather face the killer." After they
Yeah.
leave, they're kind of laughing about it, but
Yeah.
yeah. The lieutenant as well requests papers on Peter. He requests all his records, so it's
Yeah.
clear that he sees him as the main suspect now. And then
Yeah.
he does decide to go there. Around this time, and there's cutting back and forth. Obviously, this is when Phil is like getting aspirin and stuff. So you can go ahead on that.
So this where she decides to head upstairs and check on Barb.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so? Yeah,
The door
Phil
slams shut behind her. Yeah,
Phil gets it.
Phil gets it.
It's
We
there was
assume, yeah.
there's a scene in this right here, this in this part where Phil and Jess, is it, are talking.
Jess is our main character. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jess and Phil are talking. They're gathered around the phone, and you see the guy walking, the shadow of the killer walking around in the background.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just like just a brief little scene, but it's like he's moving into position. He's getting to where he's gonna, and that's where he heads back into Barb's room.
Yeah, isn't that like, it's like Halloween, like where you see the character and then in the background, right? For Halloween, you're waiting for to see white somewhere on screen because the white mask will just with the dark backgrounds, everyth's dark in that movie. But in this one, it is shadows more like, which is very noir. Like this probably is a lot of it's inspired by like noir murder mysteries kind of a thing.
Yeah, very, very much so in the lighting. A lot of the lighting is very, very eye-centric lights, shining across part of the face and
that kind of thing. A little bit.
A lot of shadow work. Like when the lieutenant goes to the recital room and opens that door, and it's just basically a black screen rectangle of the door, and his shadow there is a really really great shot. But which is a lot of shots in this movie. Movie are really well done.
There is. Yeah, Lieutenant finds the broken piano, right? That's the next thing that happens. But then we cut back to the house, which feels really natural. It might be jarring for us talking about it and for the audience that listening to us, but for the audience of the movie, it's not jarring whatsoever. It feels very natural and smooth, I would say. But yeah, so she gets another phone call.
This one lasts a while.
She's trying to keep him on, that we need to be able to trace the call, right?
Yeah.
So and, I have some quotes from him written down for this one.
What you got?
You fat pig. No, Billy, no. Billy, where's the baby? And where's Agnes?
Yeah.
I want to note here, every time we hear him before he kills someone, he's saying, Agnes, it's Billy.
Yeah.
And then I want to say this now. He seems to want an audience for this thing he's doing, which seems to be, to me, now that we've had more calls with him, more stuff, I'm comfortable saying it seems that he is reliving an event from his past and playing all the parts. And he seems to want an audience for it. And quite clearly, he's Billy.
Is that why the freak out happened? You think he's like...
That's why I think the freak out happened, because he wanted an audience. He had just killed someone, and now he wants to do a phone call. But he freaks out instead because he can't have one.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's a the calls aren't so much like a threatening thing as they are a after effect of what he's done.
Right, and this is another thing I want to say. So he always says, "Where's Agnes? It's Billy," before he kills someone, and then he always makes a phone call after he kills someone. So that is, yes, why he got mad when the taxi driver left, because now he has no audience for that phone call. But thing about Agnes, it's Billy. Is it Agnes is Billy or the phone call? Oh, it's the phone call. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a phone call that seems out of place if you think about that pattern. There's a phone call when no one's been killed. Right around the time that 13-year-old girl went missing. So he killed the 13-year-old girl, went back to the house and made a phone call.
Oh, okay. I have to watch again, make sure to
Right.
see what.
Oh yeah, because she said the mom, when she's at the police station, says it was 3 hours ago, which means it wasn't the night before, right? It was 3 hours ago, and so, like, it was most certainly him, and it happens right around the time that phone call, that 3 hour point, right around the time he makes that phone call.
Also, if that's the case, then during this time, right around this towards the end of the movie, there's 3 phone calls that happen. Right.
I have some things to say about the end of the movie.
Okay.
With that,
So one of them is
after he killed Barb, there's
one
a
of them
phone
is
call.
Phil.
It's too short, so they can't trace it.
Yeah.
And then he kills Phil. Now there's a phone call, and it's long enough they can trace it.
But there's a middle phone call.
But it's the boyfriend.
Is it? Okay.
The middle phone call is the boyfriend crying, "Don't kill the baby." Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure you probably watched this way more than I have. I'm trying to remember it, but anyways,
I've watched it 3 times. Just funny. It's a good enough movie though that, like, I remember a lot of what happens in it.
The phone call that's long enough to get traced happens.
That's the one where there's a lot of weird stuff being said. This time that's more clear. But yeah.
But they trace it.
Traced. Yeah. Oh, okay, you go ahead. I love this twist. I'm too excited.
Guy does his little a really wonderful shot. I thought about clipping the scene where he plugs in, runs back, the camera pans as he's running through the aisles of all this phone stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then runs down. It's a great shot. But
I would just evoke why can't I think of his name? The Shining. What, Kubrick? That shot feels very Kubrick to me.
Yeah.
In the maze. But anyway. Yeah.
But so really he calls the police station. Meanwhile, the lieutenant is still away from the house. He's still at the recital hall, whatever that is. And
but if you remember, there's still an officer watching the house. So
yeah, but he gets
that guy.
He gets another officer comes and tells him, "Hey, we got a phone call. There's a phone call happening." So he runs out to the car. And the phone call is happening. But he can hear the phone call though, right? Remember, he's sitting in the car.
Yeah, he's been listening in on the phone calls to the house. Yes.
And so then Nash gets a hold of him and lets him know where the phone calls are happening. It's a classic. It's the classic twist, but like
the first time though, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah. And I think, just because it's something we all know from pop culture, but it's the calls are coming from inside the house. And this is where
shit, he says to the lieutenant.
And this is where that extra phone line, Miss Mac's phone, comes into play.
And I didn't quite connect that it would need to be a different line.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't make a call to your own line because it'll ring busy. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah.
But smart. This is also where my big problem of the movie pops up, where the phone call is happening from inside the house, and this guy is screaming and making crazy noises, and like they can hear a cat
over the phone. You mean because he's quiet otherwise?
Yeah. When he's on the phone calls, he's just like he's losing his mind. He's playing the parts of like crying babies, screaming women, like um, yeah.
But
But
I do think there's something earlier when because it's from the office or whatever of the
mhm.
lady. She couldn't hear anyone outside.
Hmm.
If you remember, and I'd like to go back and look because they may have accounted for this.
Okay, yeah,
But
maybe they
yeah,
did, but
you couldn't hear any of the partying going on or anything when you were in her office with her.
mhm.
And maybe there was something even more direct that I missed. That'd be cool if there was, but
Yeah.
I can't say. I can't say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I mean, it's not enough to like ruin the movie, but like, it's just one of those
Yeah,
things where I'm like, man, I'd be like, you guys hear that?
yeah. I'm definitely a Black Christmas apologetic, so I'm gonna defend it as much as I can.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
at this point, Lieutenant calls, tries to get a hold of the officer who is stationed outside the house. We get a slow pan up the door and see that he's been gotten already.
he's been
He's got
got.
a puncture wound in his neck. He's dead.
Again, this whole neck thing, I just want to point that out. There's a
Yeah.
lot of the victims are getting in the neck, and
Yeah.
then the other one was asphyxiated,
Mhm.
and that seems connected to me vaguely, but I just wanted to point that out. Maybe it's
um,
connected, maybe not.
yeah. I mean, maybe if you listen close enough to the phone calls, it'll give you
Maybe,
some
yeah,
indication. Yeah. But
yeah.
so
I
then
think he
Lieutenant
killed
calls.
a baby. By the way, I think he killed his
Yeah.
baby sister, and then his
Yeah.
parents punished him for it by castrating him. But continue.
um,
I know it's messed up, but I think that's what it is. Listen to the
I
phone
mean,
calls closer on your next rewatch.
all
But
right, will do.
anyway,
Um, so Lieutenant can't get a hold of him, so he calls Nash, tells Nash, hey, call the house,
yeah,
uh, tell
because they're on the
Jess.
radio, so
Yeah, yeah,
obviously he can't use his radio. Kids, no cell phones back
yeah,
then.
that's right. But he tells Nash, hey, make sure you call the house right now. Tell him don't freak out about it, and just be calm, and tell him don't tell him what's happening. Don't tell him the calls are coming from inside the house. Just tell them leave the house now. Get
Hmm.
out now. Nash, don't fuck this up.
Yeah,
And then
if you fuck this up, I'll kill you.
yeah.
Yeah,
So he calls. They're on their way. They're trying to get there as quick as they can. What does he say? 5 minutes out,
yeah. He says five
something like that.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then so Nash does call as Jess is heading up the stairs. And there's a bit of a tension moment there where she's walking up the stairs to check and see what's going on with everyone.
with
And you think
Phil
she's,
specifically, I think she's shouting for Phil.
yeah.
But yeah, then the
But,
call comes.
and there's that tension of go answer the phone. No, you need to go answer the phone right now.
Yeah, and I think there's a
um,
second where you almost think, like, is she not gonna want to answer it because she thinks it's the killer again, and
yeah.
she's like,
Hmm.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
But so she does decide, she does go down and answer the phone, and essentially Nash fucks it up. But
Well, he did a good job,
as best he
except
could.
that there's this added thing. I think the detective or lieutenant didn't think of that
Mhm.
the other two girls, her friends, are upstairs.
Mhm.
She's downstairs,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Why would I leave?" And I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Why? And yeah, I guess maybe he fucks it
Yeah. Yeah.
up. But yeah,
I will admit to a little bit of confusion from her accent.
yeah, she sounds a little British.
Um, well, and because of that, she yells up Bob and Phil.
Oh, Bob, where's Bob?
Bob, Phil. And I'm like,
Bob,
who
Phil.
the heck is Bob? I'm like,
Who's
is
this
there
new character named
yeah.
Bob?
Has there been a guy up there the whole time, this whole movie? I just didn't realize it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it took me a minute, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. But so
that's too funny.
Nash is yelling at her over the phone. Don't go up there. Don't go upstairs. Just leave. Go upstairs. He lets her know. Calls her. She's stubborn on the phone,
Yeah,
and
and
he
he
finally
kind of does break, and he
yeah
freaks out and is shouting at her, like,
yeah
don't go upstairs, don't just
and
leave the house." And yeah,
And it's, you know, it's that classic, you know, it's another classic movie trope of like, of, they have to, you know, the movie is going to end if they do certain things, but like, you know, but also,
She's bold,
yeah,
and it's her friends on the line, and she clearly cares about them a lot. I mean, she's been staying up late through the stress of being pregnant and wanting to
mhm,
get an abortion, and like her breaking up with her boyfriend potentially and all that. She's been staying up late to try and find Claire and to
yeah,
do, you know, like, so she's, yeah. Anyway, she's kind of loyal to her friends, I
yeah.
would say.
Well, I
Mm.
mean, and a lot of horror movies and stuff, those actions that people take where they, you know, head into the dark room or whatever are stupid. This one, I wrote, my note was she did the manly thing. I would have done that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's your friends in danger, and you know, if she didn't know
Yeah.
what their situation was, yeah, go do it. You know, go
There's
like
an
you said, you,
example in Scream where she says, "I hate those horror movies because the girls in with tight shirts are always running up the stairs when they should be running up out the front door."
mhm,
And she says that to her boyfriend, who turns out is one of the killers. And
mhm,
then later, right, she goes to run out the front door, but
mhm.
then one of the killers steps in front of the door, and she's forced
Yeah,
to run up the stairs.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Anyway, so
That was,
what Wes Craven directed, didn't write, but the guy who wrote that also wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer,
yeah.
which Scream is the better one, but
Mhm.
anyway, yeah,
Still there. I mean, I like that little run of those kind of
those 90s slashers.
yeah, almost slasher like teen romps.
And that's what I think he did Dawson's Creek or
Hmm.
something that's like kind of like
Yeah,
teen,
yeah.
yeah, like anyway, but yeah, so
So,
anyway, off of that, back to Black
yeah,
Christmas,
yeah.
my bad.
Just no worries. Just heads upstairs, and this is where they do an interesting camera thing that I really enjoyed. Of
Prior to
this.
that, now it's flipped. It's her.
Yeah, I thought that was a
Yeah,
pretty cool little choice of
yeah,
that, taking that first person POV and giving it to her at the end.
right. And prior to that, she shouts upstairs, desperate for Phil and Barb
Hmm.
to answer her, and the acting in that,
Yeah,
like, holy cow, when she's like just at the top of her lungs, just desperate for them to respond to her.
yeah,
And then yeah, she gets the guts to go upstairs, and yeah, that's interesting. It shows her point of view instead of the killers with the
yeah,
breath as well.
yeah.
Like both of those things tied together. That's interesting. Um,
So she
yeah,
gets to the room, yells for Bob, yells for Bob and Phil.
yeah. She
Um,
needs to find Bob.
yeah,
We've been looking for
but
Bob this whole movie. Just,
she opens the door though and finds Barb and Phil posed on the bed, um,
yeah.
and
Next, by the way,
stumbles.
right? That's where all the blood seems to be. Is like their
Yeah,
necks.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But she stumbles, kind of falls, and then you hear um, it's Billy. Just
Agnes, it's Billy.
yeah,
Yeah,
and she looks up, and through the crack behind the door,
yeah. I,
this is her view.
she has a
Um,
fire poker, which we saw in the video, but I forgot to mention she picked that up. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. And she does a really,
don't.
you know, just simple movement. She kicks the door, like
Yeah,
just like, like
yeah.
yeah,
Smashes him, dude. Yeah,
yeah.
he screams. But yeah, there's that line. So this is another thing to my theory. Agnes, it's me, Billy. don't tell mom and dad what we did.
Mm.
And this to me alludes to like he may have been doing more than just accidentally killed his little sister. Like there may be more gross, nefarious stuff going on there too, which is messed up. Anyway,
which some of the stuff you said in the earlier calls,
like I want to eat your your C word. Yeah. Anyway,
so
pretty edgy movie for the time, dude. Just saying.
It was. Yeah. So then, which is interesting because like a lot of movies around that time, garnered X ratings.
Yeah.
And without any sort of sex in them. Any sort of, and I'm wondering why, if maybe the rating on this came later, when ratings really kind of picked up.
Maybe,
the
and this one was just words too.
Yeah.
Like there's no actual sex. There's no boobs. There's like that stuff that you kind of find synonymous with slashers now. Like you don't see. There's none of that like explicitly, but. Anyway, it's messed up. Definitely rated R. Don't show your kids.
Yeah. But then the chase happens. She heads off down the stairs. He's chasing her. Cut to cops on the way. She heads down to the basement. Locks the door.
Yeah, one thing here is to some stuff like you've said before. I wish we would have seen the basement.
Yeah.
Prior to this, she locks herself in the basement. He kind of freaks out, is pounding on the door, and then he kind of gives up and leaves. It sounds like. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could have introduced some of the basement. You think about like Evil Dead and how the house kind of played parts. You knew which rooms were which and like what threats they posed.
We saw all of that.
Mm-hmm. That could have been that could have been pretty useful. But she heads downstairs. I did like she's standing by the door. He can't get in the door. He leaves. He goes away. Hold on, I gotta plug my phone in. And then she decides to walk down. This is just a little thing. I'm thinking, stay at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, and the police are en route. I would like to just remind everyone because the film reminds us.
Yeah,
right.
And even if she didn't know that, he would have to come up the stairs. You have the high ground. You have a poker, and also
you can go back through the door.
Mm-hmm. You have a quick exit. Like
you
can run out, head out the kitchen door because the front door, that thing we saw earlier, the little setup that the door's not going to open, happens. She can't get out, which is why she heads into the basement. So she's down there. She starts to notice windows. There's a lot of glass down there. And you see a really creepy silhouette kind of bend down, touch the window, and then
you hear some like muffled like calling out.
Yeah.
You can't hear what the person is saying, but
and then she kind of backs herself into a corner. She's getting scared, hides, and the silhouette moves to the door. But it turns out it's her boyfriend, and he's calling for her. Peter. Yeah. He's calling for her, and he's rubbing the frost off the glass. And I think, and he peeks in. I think that was to kind of give us a similar to this here. Like, here's an eyeball looking through, kind of a thing.
And now we can see that it's him.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's full, excuse me. She's fully to the point now where she doesn't know. She doesn't trust the guy. She doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. I think more than not trusting him, she's sure that it's him. And, he's like, "Are you all right?" And, but.
And I'll be honest. Well, if I was in her situation and he was walking towards me, he was giving off real creep vibe.
a little bit, but he didn't know. You could say he didn't know what was going on or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
so yeah, he acts as though he doesn't know that there's something going on here, like she's being chased and that kind of thing. But I'd like to add, after we find out the call comes from inside the house and he was upstairs, then
hmm
it's like, oh,
yeah,
so
yeah,
the reason I thought that it's not him is actually now a better reason to think it is him.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
Hmm.
So, um,
yeah.
yeah, he breaks through the window to get inside while he's searching for her and finds her.
Mhm.
Um,
And
yeah,
cut to outside of the house, some screams. Police show up.
yeah,
Um, and then I'm going to play this because this is another scene where we were talking about earlier, like longer tracking shots, longer steady shots, and that sort of
yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
This a really really beautiful scene, like the
Steady cam,
lighting
dude. Yeah.
and what we were talking about earlier with film and like the digital stuff, the glare, the light flare from the
Mhm.
flashlight, like just beautiful
Yeah, which
scene.
at the time was often seen as a flaw.
Hmm
It wasn't seen as a cool thing. It was often, yeah, like, oh shit, there's a lens flare. How do we
Yeah.
get rid of it? Kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Then J.J. Abrams took that and just
Yeah.
ran with it. But anyway,
Yeah, let's put it everywhere.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he
But
had
yeah,
people
just
hiding with flashlights around set to put more in. But anyways,
but yeah, beautifully shot scene. Show up, uh, come around that last scene. He looks around the corner and you see two bodies, Jess and her boyfriend lying there. You think, oh,
he's
I
all
thought,
bloody though. Oh,
yeah, I thought maybe they both got killed by the killer.
oh, right, yeah, I could see
I
that.
thought maybe like because I was expecting actually expecting at any moment that the boyfriend she was going to be stressing about like oh it's him he's come the boyfriend's the killer and then like he would catch it from the side,
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
but so I thought that's kind of where they went with that was like oh nope they both got killed but
Right. And yeah, so yeah, it is just him, he's dead, and she
mm,
moves and she's like exhausted.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then cut to a bedroom. She's lying in bed, um, surrounded by police officers.
Claire's father,
Claire's
Claire's
father's there.
boyfriend. Yeah.
Yep. And they're all discussing what's happening and what next
Yeah.
steps are.
And clearly they're blaming, like they're saying, "Oh wow, like it turns out we were right. It was
Yeah.
Peter." That whole thing.
Yeah, and it's a it's a murder case. The police all have paperwork to fill out and people to tell about dead
Uh-huh.
family
And
members, and
Claire's dad goes into shock.
yeah,
And so
he's
then we have to get him to the hospital,
mhm.
right?
They have to figure out what to do with all these bodies. The morgue's not built for that many bodies, and so
They'll have to come do it tomorrow. Yeah.
it's yeah. This is I think this is the scene you were talking about earlier, where it's just one shot and they're not moving the camera, and there's a lot going on, and the
Yeah, this is that
and
shot. It's beautiful, dude.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
room starts to slowly clear out. The last one to leave is Nash. He's told to clean up, lock up, and make sure everything's okay. And he flicks the light off in the room. As he's leaving, he's talking. I knew it was that. I knew it was that guy the whole time. Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
um, they head out. Everything kind of goes quiet. There's a
And
little bit
Jess
of,
is assed out, just saying. Like
yeah.
she's like through all of the noise, it's like a lot of noise that's going on. She's
Hmm.
not moving an inch.
Yeah.
Like she's passed out. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
And so then the camera begins to move. It's a slow pan from her room to uh, whose room is the
Yeah.
next way? It's Barb's room.
Uh-huh. And then into Phil's
Yeah,
empty
and then
rooms and then up to yeah,
the
up
attic
to the
door.
attic and you see a shadow. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
What a
and
good movie.
yeah, and then you hear some the singing from the same song from the clip I played earlier happens, and the final scene is from a really good scene, a really good shot. Another, like I said, a lot of really good shots in this, but it's through the window at Miss Mac in focus, dead upstairs.
And
She comes
what's her
out of
name? Claire.
focus, and Claire is in focus now with a bag over her head, still sitting in the chair.
Right.
Shot comes out through the window basically,
Which was
and
hard to do back then, just saying.
yeah,
Can't just
and
digitize the window later.
yeah, and then a slight cut because they're on a dolly, I mean a crane or something, because it's
Yeah, I'm
um,
sure it's a crane or a jib. Probably a
yeah,
crane. Yeah.
and pull away, and ends up in a very similar shot to the very first shot of the movie. There's a cop outside, and he's standing there, just keeping watch over things, and then the phone starts to ring.
So I want to say something before you in the attic. You hear Agnes, it's me, Billy.
Mm.
As the killer comes downstairs, and then you hear a phone call at the end,
Oh,
and
so
there's a police officer smoking a cigarette out front, and he
mm.
goes inside to answer the phone. And
he
go
doesn't
ahead.
though.
He doesn't. I thought he goes up
No,
to the door.
no, he looks around, and then he just kind of stops, and he just kind of continues to stand there. But he
Oh,
doesn't go in. I thought he was going to, but he doesn't. But
oh, right.
maybe
But
he just killed what's her noodle.
so, well, I think not. Maybe he did. Like, and like you could say, oh, it's up for interpretation. No, dude. All of the evidence in the movie, like Agnes, it's me, Billy, kills
Yeah,
someone, then calls to do this little play reliving some traumatic event from when he was young,
yeah,
um, to show he needs an audience for it, and
mm,
so he says that Agnes, it's me, Billy. We cut out, some time passes. It seems we're
yeah,
outside and there's a phone call.
yeah,
Like she's gone, and I think that man, how tragic that like this guy just wanted his baby, Peter. He just
yeah,
didn't want her to, kill
yeah,
his baby, which you could say whatever your politics, but like that's the way he sees it. It doesn't even matter
hmm,
how people see it. Nowadays, I know it's controversial still, but
yeah, yeah,
he saw it as his baby was going to be killed, and he was actually just compassionate. Like, yeah, he
hmm,
made a threat, but he was emotional. He came in, he was being like hospitable to her, and he
yeah,
cried on the phone. And just because he was against her doing that, he was then seen, and some evident, like things pointed
yeah,
that way, but like ultimately her feeling about, like, you could say that was like she would have been on the fence without that. And
hmm,
then, but because of that, she's now off the fence. So, like,
yeah, yeah,
just because he wanted his baby to survive, he gets killed by her, and then
yeah,
she dies too.
hmm,
And that's just tragic to me. It's like, oh, that's so rough, man.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
think it's him until, you see
yeah,
the
yeah,
shadow move in the attic. But
yeah. So altogether, good movie, really great movie, really well done. Um, Beautiful cinematography, great directing, great acting, well written. Yeah, not if you have not seen Black Christmas, I would suggest going to watch it. You know, it's the Christmas season. Go check out a Christmas movie.
It's basically the Christmas season, isn't it? You'd
I
watch
mean,
Nightmare Before Christmas right now, I'm sure. So
yeah,
hey, come on.
yeah, it's the kind of the mix of seasons. This is you can drink your eggnog just before Halloween, so you get a little bit of the both going on, which I'm an eggnog guy. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Eggnog is something else. I'm glad you liked it. I was worried when you picked that one. I was like, oh, hopefully he likes it because it is messed up.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it's
but
really well made.
yeah, it was really good. I am getting low on my battery power, so let's get into a real quick rundown of Roy Beckwith and the Cursed Continent, for people's information, where they can, what it's about, real quick, and where they can find it and all that good stuff.
We don't need to do that. Go watch Black
No?
Christmas. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
yeah.
We'll do it. Yeah, we can do it.
All right.
But yeah,
We'll just make it real
if
quick, and yeah, so
cool. Yeah, if you watched the whole stream and did not watch Black Christmas, it's still worth it to watch it. So,
yeah, no doubt. Even
but
even
yeah.
this, like I said, this, even the big twist, it's, it was a little bit ruined because it's a pop culture thing, but
Well, I think you kind of know it's from In the House
yeah,
anyway, because you know the killer's in the house.
yeah.
So
Well,
I think it's a twist for the characters more than a twist for the audience.
Well, the thing is like, the reason that I figured out that it was the an extra phone line in the house, that I hadn't thought of it before, was at one point in the movie, I'm like, where's this guy going to make these phone calls? Like,
Oh yeah.
and then I had to kind of work through that. Like, is he running out to a payphone nearby? Does he live next door?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Our weird neighbors.
Yeah, it's a good movie, and I've seen it 3 times, and I liked it both of the times that I watched it. This time, taking notes on it, like, man, like, wow, there are movies that you can poke holes in, and then you're like, oh man, this whole movie falls to pieces. But then there are movies like this where you start to poke holes, and then you start to realize, oh, they covered that. Yeah. And they did it really well and smooth, and then you realize just how well that the movie is actually constructed as far as like plot and the writing and everything. But,
yeah.
So, which is that's how well written Roy Beckwith is.
Nice.
I strived for that anyhow. But yeah, so this is Roy Beckwith. There's no good segue into it, but I got a plug at some point. So yeah, it's 64 issues, which people say is ambitious or hopeful, which whatever. So it's a lot of issues, but it's a big story that's all been planned. I think I talked about it a little bit on the last stream, how it's like this big 3D geometric shape that's all the characters, and that determines like their character cores and the themes, and like just makes everything work kind of like harmoniously, that there are so many characters, but they're all feeding into the same plot line and feeding into the same themes. And so it's got to be 64 issues. I didn't even decide it. The structure did. So I don't know. I don't like plugging things, but this is it.
We'll do a quick show us a little bit of the art and tell us about your artist real quick.
Cool. Yeah. So this is the Yazito Witch right here. This is line art by Jarrett Katz, and then colors by Fabi Marquez, who she just got New Mutants. She's coloring New Mutants. So I found her first. She was on Power Rangers Prime and some other stuff too before that. But, yeah, so that's it's a cover for issue 8 actually. So we have kind of planned ahead.
Oh wow,
Not
nice.
that not that all the artwork's done for through issue 8, but we knew enough we
Yeah.
could do a cover for issue 8.
How far along in the writing are you?
So as far as like the plan for everything, it's like the farther out that you get, the less detailed the plan is, but it's still
Yeah.
feeding into the larger story. The closer we get to issue 1, the closer I am to like it being really fleshed out.
Mhm.
But issue 2, I'm in what I call the bold description phase. That's just because I bold it in the document, bolded. But it's just describing the events on each page or section of pages. And then after that, I go in through the script. So I'm more than halfway done on the bold descriptions on issue 2. So issue 1's done. Like,
Yeah.
um, there were some issues with the colorist where Fabi had accidentally put like a layer of white over the line art.
Hmm.
So like, there's small stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to printer right after that, before maybe even before the campaign ends. But
Okay.
yeah, so art's completely done basically. There's a couple minor tweaks like that, but
Yeah.
yeah. So as far as writing though, like I do have a fairly detailed plan for up to issue 8. It's just that I haven't done like basically all that I need to do for everything through issue 2 and issue 8 is bold descriptions and then script. So it's like
Yeah.
very little. Like we're
Yeah.
almost there on all of those. So,
Nice.
but yeah, these
Um,
are the first 7 pages, which anyone could go read on the campaign.
yeah. So if you are watching here or in the future, very near future, please, because we're yeah, a week before the campaign closes. What
Yeah,
go check out the art. Go check out the description of what story's about. He's got a trailer up. You can check out. Also, um, I'm sure I know Nick's been on a few other streams where he's gone through a lot of this stuff. Um,
yeah,
um,
I
so
like doing it.
yeah, but and I don't want to necessarily have to cut him short, but I'm like I said,
Battery.
I'm running low on my battery. But uh, what where's this on? Is this
Oh, this is Kickstarter. Sorry. Yeah. You can search it, or like I don't know if later you want to post it in the description for anyone who's watching later or whatever.
yeah, I think I do have it already got linked there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's on Kickstarter. If you don't have a Kickstarter profile, go make one. Do it really fast.
Yeah.
It's really fast. It'd be worth it, I think. And like as far as really fast, I know we got to go. The writing in this 7 pages, I think you'll notice, like we're talking about Black Christmas, that
Mhm.
it's not exposition. It's things are happening, and you're
Yeah.
learning stuff through things happening naturally. And just the way that like I'm not giving you everything and shoving it down your throat. I'm
Yeah.
like it's you kind of got to figure it out. You got to pay attention a little bit. It's not so far gone that like you have to have notes and stuff to get it, but
Yeah.
you got to look a little bit. So you'll see that in
Yeah.
these first 7 pages.
You're stepping into a story in a world that's gonna have to you're gonna have to flow along with it as naturally as everyone else in the story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're not going to tell you stuff that you don't know that they know,
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
Um,
yeah.
let's see
Go
what
check it
else is
out, guys. Thank you very much for
what
pointing it out.
what also let's do real quick.
Mhm.
Do you got digital options? What are your
Yes. So there's a digital. This is the featured one, which is just all 5 covers. Which don't worry, like we're not going to do that many covers for everyone. This is just like we only had one first issue, so
yeah
we wanted to go big on that one. So if you get this one, you get cover by Todd Beats, did Battle Beast, number 3 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Carrie Nord, who's in Exo Manowar, a lot of others. Jason Sean Alexander did Abe Sapien and Spawn for a while. And then we have 2 covers by Jarrett and Fabi. The one on the left is exclusive to this Kickstarter. Like, I actually had to have my mom buy the campaign so that I could have one of these for myself, because I'm literally not printing any more than are sold on the campaign. So yeah, there's add-ons. Please go get these duck stickers. I put a lot of work into drawing these myself. They're just the characters in the book, but as duck, because I didn't want it to be just like, art from the book, and I didn't want to. I didn't have time to really get a real artist, but I know how to draw ducks. So there's the ducks you can get. But then
I'll have
you
to go back and look at that, because I got the that first cover that you showed and talked about. That's what
I got to work on my upsells on the duck. But yeah, so there's a $5 digital option, and then $10 for the book. This is 28 pages. I tried to price it fairly. Basically, took like what other people are charging per page, and divided and multiplied. That's basically what I did. So yeah, and then from there it goes up. So for this one, that's only on the Kickstarter, it's going to be more rare.
Yeah.
$12, and then for these ones, we spend a little more on, because obviously they're bigger artists. These ones are each 15, and they're all add-onable. So if you don't want the whole bundle, you could get just 1 or 2 of them. And each one, if you're doing the add-on, it's $1 off. So a little bit of a discount for buying more than one. And then, there's the 8-issue subscription, which we've actually, some reason, had 5 people sign up for. You guys could join that crowd. You'll get.
I remember you telling me about that. That's I really like that idea.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get all 8. I should have been more like upfront about shipping costs, but basically you'll be charged like for 4 shipments, if that makes sense. So I didn't want to charge you for all 8 shipments, because that's kind of a lot of money all at once.
Yeah.
So I'm just eating half of the shipping costs on these, which I really don't mind, because it's money up front that we can use, and you guys deserve it for believing in the book this early. So, and then the premium subscription, which is all the covers for issues 1 through 8, which is no one's got it yet. But anyway,
okay, I just got distracted by another question. So the premium subscription, would that also, so like say on issue 2, you're going to do maybe less covers, but maybe 2 or 3 or whatever, would they also get all those?
That's what the premium subscription is. So
cool.
Basically I want to do, there are certain issues I want to do 5 covers, because they're like pinnacle. They're important. But we're going to do at least 3 covers for every issue. I basically do 2 by my artists, like just the artists on the book, and then 1 by some special guest. And then sometimes issue 8, I'm sure we'll have 5, because that's like the end of an arc, and it's like, it's a big deal. Like, I can't say why, obviously, but it's like, it's gonna hit hard, like the end of the first season of Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Like,
that's
Roy's not gonna die, in case you're wondering, but like the main character still sticks around. He's the title of the series. He doesn't go, but it's like, it's a big deal. So
I'm excited to see where you go with it. I mean, it's a lofty Game of Thrones end of season 1 kind of, that's pretty high expectations. But I'm excited about it. Like, the art looks great, and what you've talked about like last time, and what I've heard on other streams, it's you got a big plan, and I want to see what's going on. You see what's where you go with it, and I hope you're able to do well with each subsequent. And I know you had originally planned, you were shooting for was it Image or Dark Horse?
Yeah, yeah, it was Image. But is what it is. I maybe
Yeah,
should have tried to go with someone else after they said no, but I just
yeah,
decided, I'm doing it myself
yeah,
then.
yeah. But
But it is what it is. So
yeah, I mean, but hopefully it works out even better. Like um, and you never know.
you never
It
know
could
what they're
be.
gonna make me do. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you also never know what could come of. You've seen recently Perberg getting snatched up by Mark Miller for Vatican City.
yeah.
Um, you
Obviously,
know,
I did a stream with him recently.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so, you putting your work out there, and it's good. It's catching people's attention. It could be the case where Image is like, man, we fucked up.
yeah.
Let's tie this down, and
Did you have
and
something else? Did you have another project that
yeah,
you
yeah.
were thinking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that
maybe.
that or and you'll have a little bit of leverage because you got some heat behind your name. So yeah,
Yeah,
I hope that that it works out well like that.
yeah.
Um,
Honestly, I'm just storyteller telling stories, and I find it important, and I love the structure stuff, and I just have to. Theory only gets you so far. Like I need
yeah,
to see this in execution. I've been working on it for 10 years. I can't just not ever
yeah,
put anything out that has it, because I could do a short film, but that
mhm,
doesn't really show what it can do
yeah,
because, it's epic, that's what
mhm.
this structure needs. So like a short film wouldn't do it justice, and one or
Oh,
two issues wouldn't either. So
yeah, and it would be for us, it'd be interesting and I guess, like, I don't know, informative, I guess, because you can you can talk about your story structure, but seeing it in its outworking and how it comes out in the
Mhm.
story will just to get it
Yeah. To quote the
will
Bible, you'll know the tree by its fruits. But
yeah,
so
yeah,
like it's like, yeah, if I can talk about the structure and think it's dope as much as I want, but like you never know until
yeah,
you execute it. And if it does well, which I really hope it does, I'm doing it anyway, but I hope
hmm,
it does well. And like if it does well, it's partially the structure and partially the art and partially all of you great people in the indie scene that are willing to put me on a little bit. And but hopefully it does well. And if people think that it's because of my structure, I'm willing to like I do want to help people with that, like because
yeah,
that stuff gets me fired up. Like
yeah,
I love
yeah.
structure. It's so weird, but I love story structure. I think it's missing a lot in film nowadays. In like most indie writers probably don't have crazy structure and stuff, and
Hmm,
their stuff can still turn out good, especially small scale. But like if they really want to do something that's big like this, like
hmm,
you kind of need some structure or it's going to fall
yeah,
apart. And
yeah,
so I'd love to help some other people, with advice or whatever, but they're not going to take my advice unless something I did with it does well. So
yeah, yeah. Well, Nick, I've got, let's see, 3% left, and I want to use that 3%. We'll talk off the stream a little bit. So we're
cool.
gonna go ahead and wrap up. Everybody, thank you for watching now and later. Um, I know that like Radio Stories now on X mentioned that she watched
Oh
the
yeah.
episode you were on just like the other day, which that's
Right before
cool.
you
Like,
announce this one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's that. I like the fact that some people are actually catching up on them. But thank you for coming on. Thank you for introducing Black Christmas to me, and hopefully a few other people who are out there who are going to catch this. And we will talk to everyone. Oh, also on X, Strange Pages,
Mhm.
find them there as well. And we will see everyone next. Well, actually, not 100% sure about next week. I haven't booked any guests because I've been lazy. But anyways,
Next time.
yeah, next time, whenever that is, I'll let everyone know. But have a good night, everyone, and we'll have a good Sunday as well. Talk to you later.
Peace out.